Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, there's 3 people already. Good evening. Tuned in. We are tuned in. Let me know, guys. Welcome, welcome. Say hi in the comments. Say hi in the comment section. So I can see who's on here. Welcome to the live. Good evening, Tandy. Good evening. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. See a few people is logging in. 6 p.m. I hope the trading week was a bit better for some inexperienced than last week. I definitely had a better week. A better week. I'll say more. I'll say more during the course of this live. Good evening. Good evening. Ooh. Good evening. Hi, Mimi. Yes, yes. I'm glad to hear that. Tandy, it was better. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'm just giving Sanaya a chance also to join. I see she's busy with client. Give it one more minute, then I'm going to delve right into. So I'm going to focus on tonight on what we did right and what we're going to continue doing. And look at the entry, look at our exit. Like I'm going to share all our, like this. I'm going to show you something quickly. So from Monday, boom, 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 boom. Monday was the 27th. From Monday to Thursday, I'm going to go through each trade, the entry, the stop loss, the take profit, and what the market structure was like on that in that time zone. So this live webinar will be a live breakdown of the trades we took during the week. Good evening. Hi. So my private group members are in the chat. I can see you. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. So, like I said, this live webinar, I'm going to break down the 4 trades we took this week. And I'm going to go through, are we going to look and analyze the entry, the stop loss, the take profit area, and what was the market structure like. Hopefully by the end of this live webinar, you will learn something about your analysis, maybe about your approach. Maybe you've done something this week that you could tweak a bit, improve, or maybe you are on the right track and there's nothing that you need to change. So the live webinars is always there to help and assist you to get close to the strategy and see how we trade it live on a daily basis when we are all in the live market. Right. So I know there's a few people that will join later, maybe, or then maybe some people will watch this afterwards when we send the link to them. Okay. So Monday the 27th, I'm going to delve right into it. Now, this was a screenshot I sent in the group. Right? Remember, I said that we came from the market overall. Now, first thing, we always go to the overall market structure, right? First thing, always, we identify what the direction is for the market. Now, when this was Monday, right? Monday was, as you can see, this was the start of the day. Monday. So ignore all of these other zones here. We saw that from the previous week, price was trending upwards, right? We can see that it was trending upwards. And then gold dropped from 4,160 all the way up here, and it dropped all the way down to 4,020, right? So as it was dropping to 4,020, the Monday morning, right, we saw this happen right here. So now you have to ask yourself, like, what is that indicating to us? Now that was one Monday morning. What do we see here? The market is breaking a previous high, right? Now we look to the left, right? We see, okay, this right here on this support here is two lows there, right? So we see the market was doing a double bottom pattern as well, indicating to us that strong indication that price wants to move up. But now we need to confirm it with higher time frame buyers, and this is what I saw actually, because this I actually had a zone here, and I could see that this is, you see the zone here. Let me just delete these other markings. I'm talking about this low here on the 4 hour. So price dropped from all the way from there, making a new low, and then continuing up. But remember, this is Monday morning. So my thinking was, okay, price has already rejected from this low here, and then it started to give a pullback here. It gave us a small pullback, and then it continued up, but then it broke that that previous high. So now we're going to this to our time frame where we entered. And remember, this was the screenshot that I showed you on Monday. I just want to show you. And I said, I'm waiting now for a pullback, right? So yeah, the price was sitting at 4091. And there we see that bullish candle. This is now on the 15 minute. So that bullish candle is confirming what we see on the 1 hour. So just just hold on with this. This is on the 15 minute. I'm just going to quickly go to the chart on the 1 hour. Now, that bullish break, or my trade idea, stemmed from this bullish break on the 1 hour. Now, we saw that on the 15 minute, how it looked, right? So let's go to that 15 minute. Boom. Now, we see here, this is the last break on the 15 minute, because this is the last high. So I said to you, okay, let's look on the 15 minute. Our entry was going to be at 4091. So what we had here was, just want to show you what, because I want you to understand where the idea came from. Okay, I am lying. I still need to fast forward, because we only came to the market at 7, not at around here. Fast forward. But check here. I wanted to show you before. This was now early in the same setup we were looking for at 7. Fast forward to where we came to the market. That was 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7. All right. So now again, showing you where the trade stemmed from. Do you notice what happened here? This is exactly where price broke structure, right? Broke a previous high, right? And now what do we see? We start seeing bullish candles rejecting off the zone. And then this is actually the candle at 7. The screenshot we shown you here. This is the one actually, 7:30, around 7:30. That was our entry candle and our entry signal. Good evening to those who join now. I'm just going through the Monday's trade now. So I'm explaining Monday's trade. Right. Now, our strategy is we wait for this candle to close and then we're going to wait for a pullback on that candle, right? So, what we saw was, then this happened, right? Because remember, I gave you, I want to bring up the screenshot for you. So, the entry according to our structure should have been right at 4090. And then our stop loss was at 4085, I think. Was it 85? Let me just check. So 4091 was the entry, 4088 was the stop loss. So 4090 is all the way up down here, 4090, and 4088 is all the way up here, 90, 88. Now this was a very tight stop loss, right? I'm going to show you now why. Now, if you go to the 15-minute, actually, I think I drew my zone wrong here because it was based on this zone here, right where it touched here. So this, can you see how this candle came into the gap? So what we actually entered on this pullback. I'm going to show you how the candles looked. So this is exactly what we saw. And we were waiting for 4090 right here. And stop loss was like 4088. And we wanted to pull back, and then it pulled back all the way. Like, yeah, it pulled back, and then it pulled back all the way within the zone. But then, obviously, our TP1 was going to be for 100 and then for 1110. So for 100 is all the way up here for the first TP. Now, it hit our stop loss. Now check here. If you entered at 409 or even 4090, 94, and you exited at 4019, 4088 stop loss, check your stop loss. It's 25 pips. But I deliberately made it a smaller stop loss but it's still according to structure. I want to show you. If I go to the 15-minute, the stop loss I have given you is just below this low here. So for us, yes, when it comes lower than this low, then it means that this trade is invalid and price could maybe break through all the way down lower than this low, right? Because we follow structure. But then this candle, this red 15-minute candle, was basically just stopping us out. Because after that 15-minute candle, this happened. After we got stopped out, okay, the next candle as well. So the next candle right here, you can see tapped, tapped, tapped 3 times. Now that is rejection candles. Remember what I said about rejection candles. It's indicating that price, if you get a rejection candle like this, these weeks at a previous low, and it doesn't break past that low, it's still indication that the market wants to go up. But besides that, right, if I remove this, we see, you see here, this is how we draw our zone based on the candle that broke out, and where it broke out is right here on that on this line here. I'm placing this line here so that we can, like, that is our entry, that is our signal to entry, and stop loss will be right below structure. But in this case, unfortunately, at this stage, this I actually did check the structure, and when I saw that this candle here is breaking up bullish again, and it's breaking past where it broke out previously, and it made this pattern, I zoomed out a bit, and remember this previous eye. That's why the structure, the full story, you must always look to the left, because where did this idea started? It's still bullish on the higher time frame. This is on the hourly. You can see it moved up and then it made a pullback. So we were caught in this pullback, but on the 15-minute, there were still signs that price wanted to move up. So eventually, for 100 was the TP, right? TP1. And what happened? So we saw that price reaching for 100, and then it also even reached for 105. For 105 was like, yeah. And then I think from there it reversed. So now it came all the way back to the entry. So I would have said, okay, if you decided you're only going to take one trade, let's talk risk management. If you decided you're only going to take the one trade, if it hit your stop loss, it hit your stop loss. If that is your rule, stick to that rule. Don't re-enter when the group re-enter. If you feel like, okay, that 20 pips was really, I don't feel my risk for the day, I was okay with risking 100 Rand, and now I am only down 50 Rand. Then it's okay to go in again, but just make sure that you also don't exceed your maximum loss. So now that means you cannot lose more than 50 Rand. I'm just making a very small example. But that's basically how it is. But we don't just, like, I wouldn't just re-enter. Let me tell you that I am also rule-based trading. So for me to re-enter, I need to see that my zone is still valid on a higher time frame. So we look at the zone. If the zone is invalid, that is when I decide this is not, it's not nice, it's not good for me to re-enter. And also, like, make a note for yourself when you take a re-entry, because I don't know about you guys, but it does happen to me at times. I would risk, obviously I'm risking bigger, especially on my dollar account. So if I risk 0.20 and I went in on the first entry and my stop loss get hit, and I'm like, okay, I only lost $100, I'm okay with losing 300 for the day, $300. So if the trade hit my stop loss and I decide to go in again, I have to remind myself, look, it is a re-entry. Just reduce your risk to 0.10. You went in on the first with 0.20, go in with 0.10. If you are trading with 0.5, for instance, go to 0.3 on the re-entry. Don't over risk on the re-entry, because the re-entry is still a re-entry and we are still taking a second risk. We are exposing our account to risk again. However, you can't be scared, because some days this will happen. We will the market will hit the stop loss and then go in our direction, but not every day. So that's why I say you get better as you go as a trader to like to discern which trades are actually going to play out and which are not going to play out. Normally the trades that is against the trend will not play out. So in this case, the trade played out, but don't feel bad if you didn't re-enter, because if you didn't re-enter, it means you stick to your rules. You told yourself, if my stop loss gets hit, I'm done for the day. You followed your rule. And as we know, every single day there's opportunity to take another trade. So the next day you can make up for that. So don't feel like you missed out also. Yes, you're gonna feel that. I can't say don't feel like you missed out. Don't act on that feeling is all I can say. Try to discipline yourself, because you're gonna feel like, I missed out on this. It's not nice. Even I experienced that. So let's move on. Is there any questions there on this trade? Like, or maybe don't let FOMO get to you. Nice, Mimi. Type it in the chat for me. Who allowed FOMO this on this Monday to? I know some people missed the trade also. So who allowed? Say if you allowed FOMO, type FOMO. If you did not allow FOMO on Monday, type no FOMO. Type no FOMO. I just want to see something. That would be interesting. FOMO or no FOMO? Let's see how many of you felt it. FOMO is the fear of missing out. I like this group spirit, man. I must say, this week the traders was in a good spirit in the group chat. I liked it a lot. I liked the engagement. No FOMO, yes, that's good, Sandy. That's good. It's showing your growth, right? Let's see. Maybe there's a few more, right? So Monday was a slow Monday. I wouldn't say it was like now a genius trade because we saw normally our trades run to the TP2. But then again, I want to talk about that as well. Your expectations cannot always be high when it comes to trading because the market will humble you and say stay in your lane. The market, we just follow what the market does. The market will sometimes humble you to like remind you that you are not in control. We following the market. We are adjusting ourselves to the market. So on Monday, that was the outcome. Now that is also something that I believe in your journey you will like. Not every day will be the same. Not every single day will be the same. But thank God, when you have the skill, you can come to the market and realize that there's always opportunity to trade again. That's why your risk management need to be intact. All right. So Tuesday was the 28th. Um, and I said this, guys. So that was around what time was that? I need to go check now what time that was. Because I said to you, the market seems to be trending downwards, right? Oh, forgot to say my screen. So on Tuesday, I just want to show you guys. There we go. So now, this was Tuesday morning. Can you see from where the market, from here, the previous day, the Monday, dropped all the way, and what do we notice? Breaking this low, dropped all the way down again into this previous low. So we always study where the market goes and retest and stop, right? Because it always gives you an indication of where the momentum will go. Now, once it tapped into, remember what I said on oops, I think I'm far ahead of myself here. I'm ahead of myself. The time here at the bottom is 6 a.m. So I just want to go back quickly and go check what was this the time when I gave you that. That was 7:17. And then okay, so price was sitting right here at, yeah, I have an idea where we are now. So this is where price was on Tuesday evening. Sorry, Tuesday morning. So again, we saw, look, reference from this level because of that low, right? Price is bouncing up and then it continued coming down. So now I'm checking. Okay, there we see a low was broken, but what is happening currently here? That was 6 o'clock, and then there we go. So this is exactly how the market was sitting. Now there's no break-in structure yet. Yeah, right. We can agree. And I was really patient on Tuesday because we've learned from the previous week, right? That if you don't wait for a break-in structure, you can be faked out. So we rather wait for the solid break. Now this was, remember this the screenshot I sent you, and I said the market looks like it's trending downwards. And my theory was actually that price wants to drop and come and retest again in this and get all these grab all the liquidity at the bottom because it's possible, right? So and then we were watching it. It was like 7, and I was like, no, I'm not entering in nothing yet. Remember this candle where I said, look how the market is faking, they're giving us a fake out. So yeah, a bunch of traders probably got in here, and that could have so easily been us if you got in here with the buy. Because after that buy, the market just sowed flames, like it dropped all the way down here, and then look where it went to go and close. And when I saw that, I said, now we're going to wait. We are going to wait for a break. There was a break, and then we're going to wait for a retest. So let me just remind you and share this with you. There's my zone. My zone was drawn from, and the entry was around 4043. So when I saw these wicks here, tapping weeks. Can you see the way the body of this candle closed as well? That is how I find the entries, guys. That is exactly how I find the entries because it's indicating to me where the momentum, again, the rejection candles. That's why I say candlesticks is so important. Your knowledge on candlesticks is so important. So the entry was at 4043 and the TP was 4053 and 4041 was the stop loss. So let's place it. 4043 is around here. 4041 is it for one? Yes, stop loss was 4041. Now check how tight the stop loss was. 20 pips from entry. So there we go. Now what I said to you was check if I go to the 15-minute. Where did I draw the zone? In this case now, I drew the zone based on this 15-minute bullish candle. Reason for that is because I considered this as a high. Because price came down, bullish candle, can you see it? And then the red candle went down. So that was a previous high, right? Came down, bullish candle moved up, down, bullish up, down. So that right here where the price broke the body of that candle, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. So this is how closely I zoomed in. You see these two bodies of these candles? This is our candle that broke structure for us. This one. This is the candle where I drew the zone on. Here's our zone, right? Our stop loss is below the zone. Can you see at 404041? Our entry is right here at 4043 where the price broke out. Now, we were waiting. Yeah, but this took some patience, right? Remember this candle? These two candles, when you know it's a 5-minute candle, but when you in the live trade, it's never like how I explain now. You're never this calm. It's like, what is this candle trying to do? Why is it coming to test the whole time here? Like, because it's moving like fast, but it's also not. There we go. You see directly. But when I start seeing prices breaking out like this, out of the zone, that's when I knew. Now you can see this week it touched right on 404. Maybe you got in around here, 4044, 4044. Right? But then stop loss is still below this candle, right? So you should not struggle actually to place a stop loss if you understand that the candle that broke the structure is the candle that you use for your stop loss placement. Because if price come lower than this zone is just to indicate and help signaling to you that if price breaks lower, then it hits my stop loss, right? So let me know also in the chats, you are in this trade with us, right? Check here. Because it was playing around like that. This one also, when it came back before it broke out. How was I said, Karen, yes, it was really testing us. Remember how messy it first was? You had to like apply your patience. And what were you thinking? Were you watching your stop loss at that time? Because all that I was doing was I was like said I check my app, I see okay, I did put my stop loss at the right place, right? So now I just need to allow this trade to play. And it is like a less than 30 pip stop loss. So it should not really be that much of a loss. So we should not be that fearful. And the reason why I also made the stop loss smaller, especially for the new traders is coming in. I do realize having a bigger stop loss, and when you're trying to grow your account, it's detrimental. So I'm really it's not easy. I must say I have to study in depth the smaller time frames to get that type of, but I think this was such a perfect entry. We got in right at 4043 and it rejected this candle, that rejection candle is a it's a beautiful candle. The fact that it rejected so nicely off our entry and then it started to move, right? So we were in profits. Don't know why my eye is itching. So let's see. Ooh, and then it took its time to hit our tip. Remember, it came so close because this is where I got so annoyed. Because then this is where it turned around right there. This candle was like literally one pop away from our TP. One pop. And this is where the patience comes in because you have to stick to the plan, in because it is a check there, it's a 1 to 3 risk reward trade. If you're only gonna hold until here, then you make it a 1:2 risk reward. So that's how I try to motivate myself while I'm in the trade. Look, your plan was 1:3. You gotta hold. You gotta hold, guys. You gotta hold it all out. So the same way we like to hold the losses so long, you have to hold your winners actually longer, and your losses you need to cut quicker. And that is the secret. That is how you stay profitable over a long period of time. So we managed to do something this week that was amazing. We brought our 50 and 60 pip stop losses back to 30 pip. We cut our risk in half. And that means you can over your win rate can increase, but that also means that I have to be very accurate when it comes to entries. But it's giving you breathing space, not to when it comes to your account size. We're all about capital preservation. That is the goal. So check here. So it pulled back. I wonder how many of you closed already. Did you take some profits there? Because this candle was working on my nerves. This one. This and then finally, wait, not that one. Yeah, I think at 5 when it came back to there we go. Wait, I want to show you. Finally, after it broke, this one, sure, there we go. You see, this candle actually broke past this 404053, and then it hit TP and then it came all the way down. I must say, it was not nice to sit in this trade and wait for it to hit that 4053. But you, again, every single experience is different. Our TP2 low, this really required a lot. This did, indeed. Look at this, all this messy price action here. And while I think the worst for me is because I was sitting and watching every single candle. I think that is making it worse because now you're timing the candle and you're checking every behavior of the candle. Obviously, I have to do that to manage the trade with you. So I think that makes it even worse because now you're like, come on now and just go. We can see it because this is how we could see it's gonna go up. On the 15-minute, right? We had a strong bullish candle. This one, this one who broke out of our structure, and not just broke out, but it at some point it was higher than this previous lows and higher than this previous highs, as you can see. And so on higher time frames, the structure was valid, like we were caught up in a consolidation on the 1 hour. And what the market actually just did, it moved to this high here. If you check here, where it broke out previously, that I think it just retested there, and then let's see, where did it actually stop, that hourly candle. Just want to check where it stopped. So it came back down, and then I think it broke through this low later on. Yes, it broke through this low. So yeah, we were caught up in this consolidation, but it didn't move further than that low, previous low. As you can see, the price came all the way up here and then it rejected off there and then continued going down and came back. to the support here at the bottom. You see how it came back to the support and then it continued going up after later in the day, rejecting off here. But it was a win for the day. We at least made up and we take what the market gives us, right? We take what the market gives us, we build our accounts, and tomorrow we just execute. We don't get married. I'm just reading the comment. We don't get married to a setup, right? Because every single time we have to take a setup, you can't like be so committed to a setup, right? That you forget that there's other opportunities again. Because now when you go all in on one trade, you believe that that one trade is a life changing trade, but there's always another trade. That's what I say, and we should approach it like um the quality of the trade is your performance during the trade. Is did you perform proper risk management? Did I not over leverage? Did I take what the market gave me? Did I exit where I planned to exit? Did I stop where I planned to stop? Let's look at the question. Lol, does really require patience? According to your experience, do you think it's better for one to watch the charts after putting in a trade? Now, this is a tricky one. Let me take a sip. Let's hear from the other members. What are you watching during a trade? Do you watch your MetaTrader? I mean, the money app where the money shows, or do you watch the charts? So, are you talking, Tanya? Are you talking about the chart, or are you talking about the the money? Like, because you can watch the money going up and down, or you can watch the chart. Mimi says, don't watch the trade or the price. So you're saying just close your eyes for both. But it's difficult. I'm gonna give my answer now. The charts, okay. Oh, you mean I would say it's okay to watch the charts as if you are checking for market structure. If you are checking if the trade is still going in your favor, but not watching the chart to close quickly, because you get scared. Because out of your emotion, out of the fear. Because if you're going to cut your loss, you to take small profits all the time, it's not going to be profitable at the end. Okay, Karen says he's watching the chart, but then if you don't watch, then you won't be able to take profit. Um, True that, because when you saw now what you experience in the group also, there is times when I give a TP, for instance, 4053, but then the market goes to 4052, one pip away. So in my mind, in my opinion, and this is now just personal, I will take profit at 4052 and not feel that it is wrong. It's not wrong. Yes, I encourage that we trade the full plan, but think about it. If you are one pip away from your take profit, you're up in money. We want to make money, right? We don't get to make money every single day. Now your trade is running in profit. You are up in money. What's more important? For you to that the trade must hit my TP so I can feel good that it hit my TP, or that I might took some money out of the market. What I can tell you, Tandy, is if you panic too much, when you why is it saying my network is unstable? If you are panicking too much when you watch the chart, stop watching the chart. But if you become like more mature, or in your feelings, like it doesn't like bother you at all when you only watch the chart, then it's okay. But if you're not there yet, give yourself some time, get used to it. Because I used to again, I used to be, yeah, even like Sanai says, she's watching both sides. And that is also fine, because sometimes you have a money, so like for instance with me, when I risk money, I don't risk percentage. Sometimes I say, If I lose, if I lose 200, I'm okay. So now I have that 200 in my back of my mind. So then I will check sometimes how close is it to my 200. I'm just making an example. But then I will not fixate on the money like up and down, going, oh my God, I was up 1,000, now I'm down 200. That's when you're in beginning phase. Then I will understand that you are like that. But now, for me, obviously, I have to watch the chart. Um, what are you saying? One pip away, right? If it's one pip away, do you take profit? Now, Tandy, you can decide for that. If you like, nah, Makisag, no matter what, I'm gonna take profit at where I gave you a take profit. Then leave the trade. Then you don't even have anything to worry about. Oh yeah, while we are on this, I am in contact with the XM broker. I am in partnership with them. Just a disclaimer. So any issues that you guys have with the platform, you tell me. I will address it to them. I will let them know because we will definitely. We've got the power in our hands. We're trading with them. They must make it favorable for us. That if because there was a trader who had an experience where they had the TP in and the TP did not trigger. So the market got to his TP and the TP did not trigger. If you're trading with XM, but I don't think he was trading with XM. I'm not sure. But if you're trading with XM and you've got problems like that, please inform us. Let us know. I've got like direct access to the managers, and they will sort us out. So yeah, again, back to, I would say watch both. You can watch both. It's okay. It's really okay. But if you are panicking too much, like you feel like you want to close a trade or you want to do something out of character, then rather not watch it. Put it in, try to detach. We should actually detach, try and detach from the trade, because then you become, that is how you measure your performance, when you're not like, oh my word, life and death on this one single trade. Right, let's move on. We'll come back to that. That was on Tuesday. No, I'm lying. It was Wednesday, right? Is that Wednesday, guys? Why did we take Wednesday? Karen wasn't trading with us. What did we take? We took a buy on Wednesday. Am I right? Ooh, Wednesday was a good trade. Can you still remember the buy we took on Wednesday? 401. Ah, lovely. So Wednesday. So Wednesday was a bit easy to spot also. Okay, now we're going to Wednesday. Correct. So I see your comment, Mimi. So Wednesday, right now, yeah, we were sitting at the support. Now, like I taught you on support and resistance, right? Once a price sitting at the support, it's indication that the market wants to move up, right? And what do we see here? Multiple rejections at the zone. So when I came to the market, the first um 4031 was our, this is how the market was looking short. So this was sitting at the support, right? And the 4027 was where the market was still consolidating. So I was waiting for price to break out. And this was supposed to be our entry, right? So again, yet again, a very, very close, not close, a very little, let's see here. I should actually make sure that I'm giving you the right time. There we go. So again, 7 o'clock. This was the 7 o'clock candle that broke out. I need to now just show you. Can you see how we try the same strategy on every setup? We don't use a different strategy. We always wait for a break in structure, right? So this was the break in structure candle. So on that break of structure candle, right, there was a gap here at the bottom. So this gap here at the bottom, this is actually where the move started. So you could have drawn your zone like this from here to there, because this indicates, this is merely indicating to you where the candle the candle that broke that structure started right there. And hence that is where, because it started, and if you look here to the left, that is where I actually gave an entry. So the entry that I gave was, let me copy it here and place it right here. So our entry was at 4032. That's what I said. We're going to enter as soon as it pull back to 4302. Right? And then we're going to exit at 4240. 4240 was like here. That was a TP1. 42029. This was the idea for where the stop loss should be. And then let's make it, let's watch it together. And then we saw that this is the pullback. So we wait for the pullback. We wait for the retest, or whether you want to call it a pullback or retest. If the price is pulling back, it's also retesting at our zone. So that is what we wanted to see, and there we go. Now you could have entered right on this candle here. So I said to you, we enter as soon as this candle broke this previous red candle. When we start seeing a green candle in the zone and it's after a pullback, we entered, right? So we entered, and then that candle came down, right? Oops. I wanted to show you something. So now you're probably thinking, okay, but now this candle is coming down. So what am I doing in this case, for instance, when this candle is coming down? Always watch the last low. If the price has not broke below this last low, then it means it's still valid. And that's why that's how I manage the trade. Then I changed. I said, make your TP 4042, because we entered a bit higher. Then we didn't enter, all of us entered here, we entered a bit higher. So I said change the TP2. I actually said here in the group, yeah, I can show you. I said new TP 4042. So that is when I gave you a TP of here instead of that, because I could see also the market's gonna go up. And then we waiting for the market to move to 4045 was our 45 was our TP2 around here. So let's see. And then price pulled back. Now I think we left a runner. I also left a runner. And then I said place the stop loss. I can't remember. I must quickly check there. But in this case, guys, if this happened, right, so your TP2 is up there, and then the market goes to 444, and then it pulls back. Place your stop loss closer. Sometimes I will not say it, but sometimes I will guide. Sometimes I will tell you guys, let's move stop loss. I will always say it. But if you now feeling like you want to do it on your own, and you maybe want to understand why do I move my stop loss. So as the trade is moving into profit, you'll notice I will also bring the stop loss a bit up. So then now we have a risk-free trade. Look here, you will see in the group, I said stop loss to entry around 820. It was when the 15-minute looked like this. I show you. So when the 15 minutes started to move, like when the market was here, check here. Now it already broke out. It already retested. And then I said to you, bring now the stop loss from all the way up there. Bring it up. You can bring it up here. You can even bring it up to 40. 0.35 at this stage because it's below this bullish candle, and this bullish candle is starting to break a previous high. That should tell you that the structure is continuing strongly bullish, and that's how you manage the trade. You manage the trade by looking at the structure, and then you adjust your stop loss accordingly. Obviously, when you are new and you're still trading with me, I'm just explaining the logic behind what I'm doing and why I say change it there and let's move it up. And the reason why I want us to bring the stop loss up when we are in profit, it takes away the nerves also, and it allows you to protect your capital. Because if anything goes wrong, we do prepare, we investors, and we calculate our risk. So if the trade comes against us, at least we don't lose anything. If our stop loss is at our entry, right? So that is also something to consider in the new week when we take more trades. So that was a Wednesday was a beautiful trade. It was really playing out according to structure. There we go. And you see it reads 4046. It was a beautiful trade. It was really a beautiful trade. The entry was again spot on. Look at how small our stop loss was. Like 24 pips, guys. The original stop loss. And then it turned out to be a risk-free trade because as we were in profit, we brought the stop loss to entry. So a risk-free trade, basically, we couldn't lose anything. If you entered around 4033, you would have still been good. So I've also realized with trading gold, and I'm with my research and watching the markets and also trying different approaches, I've realized that even though I can see the market in the long term going up, gold is too much volatile in this time. It's still too much volatile for us to hold winners longer. We need to take what the market gives us. If we have a TP1, just take some profit at TP1, please, because the market is extremely volatile and we are not guaranteed that our levels will be continually be respected. So we have to compensate for that as well. Right, so that was for Wednesday. Now, let's go to Thursday, our last trade for the week. Type into the comments this week what was one thing you learned about yourself in trading. Not about trading. What was one thing you learned about yourself during this week with your trading? I'm gonna start. I'm gonna say I've learned that I need to, if I sleep better at night, I think I come to the market with a more clearer mindset. I am more fresh. I used to be like getting up very early in the morning. I used to do that. And this past week, I actually did something different. I went to bed like at 9, around 9. So I had a full night's rest. I woke up at 5. And I felt like every day when I came to the market, my brain was just fresh. I was on a, like, I could feel the difference because I had a good night's rest, and it had a real impact on my performance in the market. So what is one thing this week that you learned about yourself? Like, I learned that a good night's sleep is good for me. It helps me to perform better. Type it in the comments. Let me see. Share it with the peoples. The 30th. Okay, as we're waiting for the market to move to Thursday. Yesterday. Okay. Yesterday was around, yeah. Okay, here's the new day for yesterday. And then it was 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Price was like, nah, we're gonna consolidate. Then it broke down, came down all the way, retested the way it broke out. Can you see? Right where it broke out, came back, retested. Ooh, here it is. Sorry. Boom. Once I become this day, I tried to. Thank you for that tip. I feel much. Tony. Thank you for that tip. Oh my gosh. No, I am glad to be at service to you. No, I'm telling you, a good night rest will really change your life. Um, you make me laugh. All right, so let's go to the screenshot for Thursday evening. Why am I keep on saying that? Thursday morning. My brain is in the evening. Sure, but Thursday it was also, it was what? Did it really? Okay, let's look at it. Remember where the market was, right? It was dropping. And then it came to exactly to that previous high on at 40440. And then, oops, let's see if I can. Man. So then I thought it's going to, like, it looked like, and I thought many traders probably sold here. They sell here. So they sell all the way down to this area. And then they thought maybe the market's gonna go down. That's why I tell you guys, we must wait for the breaking structure. Because for instance, if what if I got in on that sell? What if I actually allowed myself if to see that that is a breaking structure, right? Let's go and see. So what first thing I told you guys in the group, the first thing I said is that there is a break of a low, right? So if I wanted to get in early, check here. That was at 8 o'clock. That is too long, too long. Right? So we always need to wait. Now, when the market was here, it was easy to think that it's going to go up because check how it was moving. It stopped almost like a year and then it was green and then it broke through. So it's easy to think, okay, this market actually wants to continue going up. However, if you check closely, I just want to bring up that screenshot where the price was at 4044. We want to wait for a solid break, right? And I want to show you the two different time frames, how this can really confuse you. I was waiting for a solid break at first. No, man. Why am I? Why is this looking different? 404 4044. Let's just go to 4044. Something is not right. 4044 is all the way here. Down here. Yeah. Now why does this chart is looking so weird? I see it. Here it is. Sorry guys. I see it now. So it was actually at this time. You see there at the bottom, 637. So as it was breaking down, right? And broke through structure, 15 minute, this is what we saw. So it really looked like price wants to move up, but this was a strong low here at the to your left, right? So my thinking was that if price break through, there we go. That is exactly what we got from the market. The market gave us that break, and I was really concerned because now it was rejecting already, and I gave you an entry of 4038. Remember yesterday I gave an entry 4038 and I said 4041 is our stop loss. Look there, 28 pip stop loss. And I said the first TP is gonna be around 429, I think. 429 is around there. So then I was a bit concerned when I start seeing it's really rejecting off already lower, and that price might only want to come back to 440 and then drop. So this is then what we got. We got in right on that candle, but we got in not so late. That was later in the day. We got in right here. It was a very weird on this pullback here. We got in. It took what was my TP for you guys? Let me just see. Sell 4030 4025. Okay. 4030 is like right here. Was TP1. 40, there we go. So yeah, I remember this because it still came, it dropped to 4330, not really to our TP, then pulled back, then it dropped, and then on the second drop, that's when it reached 4330. So this was such a weird trade. It was a really messy price action, I must say. However, I still believe that it was going to go down because of this 15-minute structure that broke, right? This candle there. You can see it's a strong bearish candle that broke structure. And it did not just break this low here, it also broke below this low here. So, and obviously there's liquidity there, but the market was really weird. I'm going to zoom in quickly just to show you what then happened. It then, I think it hit our stop loss. Yes, it came to hit the stop loss after it reached TP1. I think TP2 was here at 4025, around here actually. Yeah. So then the market reversed on us on yesterday. So it was a really weird trade as well. If you missed it, it's fine, because really it was like so quick to spot that pullback, like here to there, and then it only moved and reached right there, and then it continued going up. But as you can also see, trapped in this consolidation right here. So you must always remember when this happens and you want to analyze, right? Check here. So after it broke out, and we have another zone here. This is basically our strategy. There's the zone, pulled back, and then it continued going up. So if you check on the 1 hour, that it was a pullback to this high. So I understood that this structure actually broke through here, but only reached this previous high, and then it continued going up. But that was our trade for the week, Thursday, from Monday to Thursday. Now, I just want to show you that it's really not always about the quality of the trade. It's about your performance in that. When did you enter? Where did you put your stop loss? Did you close? Did you close in time? This week I learned to be patient, trust my trading plan, and only take quality setups. My focus is on discipline and consistency. That is such good gems there. I feel much confident in a trade if my risk is low. This 30 pips really made me feel good in the trade. That's good. Thank you for the feedback. Yes, yeah. So you see, you get to know yourself, you get to understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And as time goes on, even though you're following my trades, you are becoming an independent trader as well, because you understand what we look at, what we're following. And yes, stick with me until you get to that place where you're like, I can take trades on my own. I'm definitely putting in the work for us to get to our results at this end of this year. So yeah, this is it for tonight, ladies. I don't know. I don't see the James. Maybe there is a Jen there that's very quiet. So yes, James, I see you also. Um, I will be back on Monday. And just before we close, I actually wanted to. Oh yeah, and as many of you know, our guest we had in last a week ago. Stay tuned for part two. Part two is loading with our guest. It will probably we will announce when the guest will appear. And also, I'm sorry about the last live webinar. I had to cut it early. I do apologize. I take it upon me. Bad time management. You can come for me. So I do apologize for that. And next time, that's why I'm making the live also now 6 p.m. to provide more time for us, because 7 p.m. is a bit late. If you want to go overtime, then it's at least not too late. So 6 p.m. is a good time actually. Yeah, so make sure you tune in for the next live webinar. Maybe not. We will have a special guest, and I will continue doing trade breakdowns and also discuss risk management. Thank you so much, Marilyn, everyone. Thank you. Does trading stop in December? So I'm trading until the end of November. The first week in December, we take a break. We might have a meetup or something in the first week of December. So yeah, let's see. But the first week of December, I definitely stop trading. First week of December, because you will also notice that the markets are slow. Everyone is going on holiday, so the markets is extremely slow. And then the first week in January, I always come back the first week in January, and and then I come back very strong, because you come with that positive energy for the new year. So yeah, have a good evening further, ladies and gents. I see the gents are here, and have a good evening further. So meaning one has to make Christmas money before. Yes, we must make. I Let me tell you, in my experience, I'm not disclaimer. I'm not saying past results is an indication of future results, but October and November is normally the best months to trade. Yeah. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Love you all. Bless you. Bye. I love that comment. So one meaning one has to make Christmas money. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sanay. Oh, yeah, and I want to thank Sanay as well. Thank you so much. It's nice to read the comments from this side. Okay, bye, Ella. Stop sharing now. Dun, 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 dun.